This is Patriotic Ideals Video Log, Episode 1. Welcome, fellow patriots. My name is Author Larry, and my channel is Patriotic Ideals. This is a political channel in which I discuss the challenges facing our great society and offer some solutions I consider appropriate. If you like this content, please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. It's absolutely free, and your support will help to grow the channel. This first episode is to explain my reason for creating this channel. In future episodes, we will be discussing many topics that are important to the daily lives of every American. We will be talking about membership in the United Nations, the Federal Reserve System, control of inflation, a central bank digital currency, size of our government, sovereign debt crises, family life, religion, equality, and many other subjects. I hope that you will tune into these very important discussions. Let's chat. My friends, I am here to express my great appreciation for having spent my life in the great American society that we all take for granted. But America is changing, and we are losing our freedoms. If you are a second, third, or fourth generation American, as many of us are, we likely share a mistaken belief that life on our planet has always offered the common people the freedom, democratic, Christian, and capitalist way of life we share. Nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, wasn't it Ronald Reagan who once said, "We are never more than one generation away from losing our freedoms"? We should review our planet's history and try to understand better what came before us, how our American Republic was formed, and why it is so important. In my first book, Past, Present, and Future of Planet Earth, scientists and archaeologists tell us that there was no intelligent life on Earth in its earliest days. We speculate about how intelligent life may have come to be here, and trace the history of mankind until present day. The book contains many themes, but the one appropriate to this conversation is about the growth of societies and governments. The history of mankind is a history of friction and war. All societies prior to 1776 were created by conquest and existed as kingdoms. Most Americans have never seen a kingdom and certainly never lived in one. It is difficult for us to fully understand how a kingdom operates. A king controls an entire territory by military power. The lords own all the lands and means of production, and the common people work for the lords as serfs and are essentially slaves. Control is absolute. Who's going to punish a king or a lord for abuse of power? The reason we learned about the French Revolution in school was because it was at that time that the people abolished the kingdom in France and gained the right to vote for the first time in history. The stage was set for democracy and communism. The later and bloodier Russian Revolution also abolished the rule of the Tsar and gave the Russian people the right to vote for their leaders. In 1776, when our forefathers decided to unite the states and formed the United States of America, they fully understood how the people, after so many eons of absolute government control, were intent upon living in a society in which they would have more freedom and control over their lives. Our forefathers were absolutely determined to create a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. It was the first time in the history of humanity that the people were given the right to own property and capital and accumulate wealth. And to help ensure that the people would always be able to maintain these rights, they built in rights of free speech, right to bear arms, and other freedoms to ensure that the government could not regain absolute power and control over the people. They directed that these rights were granted by God and not subject to government removal or approval. Perhaps we do not fully appreciate and understand how dramatically The creation of the United States of America changed the world. Never before in the history of the world have the people had such privileges. We own our homes today and have IRAs and own stocks and bonds because our forefathers fought to create this great society for us. And it was from America that these ideas spread to other countries. Democracy was accepted in many Western nations, but in Russia, the new government granted the right to the people to vote for their leaders, but maintained all wealth, ownership of all land, and means of production and power in the hands of the government. Goods and services were to be distributed equally among the people. Although it is likely that about half the population of Earth is living in communist societies, democracy and capitalism was accepted by many worldwide and is still believed by the American people and many others to be the greatest society ever created in the history of mankind. It is my belief that we might still be living in agricultural societies today if democracy had not been invented. I believe that democracy paved the way for capitalism because the people were granted the right to own property and capital, and now could be rewarded for creating inventions that would improve the lives of people worldwide. For the first time in history, a common person could invent a product, produce and distribute it, and profit from this venture. The Industrial Revolution did not occur in Russia, China, Africa, Oriental nations, or Latin America. America and Western Europe were responsible for the creation of most new products and advancements in production and technology that improved the lives of all who accepted them worldwide. While capitalism is widely accepted by the people worldwide as a great gift to society, and that it has made dramatic improvements in the lives of many, it has not been as widely accepted by world leaders and wealthy elites. There are many who feel that population has grown way too large and immense damage has been done to the planet because of industrial production and our modern way of life. Many powerful world leaders are attempting to bring all nations under the control of the United Nations, which would then make it possible to make very dramatic changes in the way we live. They would eradicate capitalism to improve life on planet Earth. As a direct result of their efforts, many changes have been made in America, which have taken us further and further away from the great society our forefathers created it to be. There are a number of policies we need to examine about the way our country, society, and economy are run today. Our government is of the people, but is it by the people and for the people? I believe that America has lost its way. We may be racing towards the total destruction of our freedom, democracy, and capitalism, and many powerful forces worldwide would be happy to see it happen. As a result, I have written a second book called Love Letters to America. This book contains 33 letters to the American people, identifying many of the problems I see in America today, and offer some solutions. I will be bringing to this website a number of additional episodes in which I will attempt to identify individual issues that we must solve in order to restore our way of life. If you tune in, you will see that these discussions are extremely important to the future of America and have a very substantial impact on our daily lives. What do we have to do to restore the greatest society ever created in the history of mankind? There are opportunities available to us to learn more about what our great society was meant to be by our forefathers. The John Birch Society publishes a bi-weekly newsletter that contains a great deal of information about our American Republic. Hillsdale College of Hillsdale, Michigan offers free online courses promoting our way of life and will send you a copy of the Constitution for a small donation. My books are available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon. I hope I have given you a greater understanding and appreciation for our American way of life today. Remember, if you like this content, Please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Membership is free and it will help grow the channel. Your comments are always welcome and I will respond to all that I can. Our next episode next week will be about the illusion of American prosperity. This is Author Larry signing off for Patriotic Ideals. Really hope to see you next week.